Right.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. So,
Good
welcome
morning.
everybody to Monday Morning Coffee Chat. I'm excited to be back. Last week was a little bit of a fluke and I missed that. But I am grateful for those who are here and grateful for those who will catch the replay. Um, Kasia, right? Did I
Yeah.
pronounce your name right? I always get so confused. So, Kasia.
No, it's very simple. Kasia, if you can, but Kasia is also fine. Like
Kasha, Kasha, Kasha. Okay. I'm going to
you
try
cannot
that.
fuck it up. You can.
You never know. I might. Some people don't. But so today I'm here with wet hair because I was wrestling chickens a minute ago, and then I got an eyelash in my eye, and I was trying to post on social media. It was a hot mess morning here, but we're here, and I'm so grateful to be here. So why don't you introduce yourself, and then we'll dive into our topics. I'm so excited.
Okay. Well, thank you first. Thank you so much, Colleen, for the invitation. It's so lovely to be here. We had it in the works for a little while, and I'm just so happy for all these women and all the group, the community of women who are just so eager to grow, who are eager to do something more with their lives, to advance themselves, to help more people, to build something that they haven't, seen coming many times, just a few years prior. This is also exciting because we live in exciting times. It's never ever been easier in the history of mankind to build something spectacular, to create a life where you really feel like you're expanding beyond, you know, time and space, allowing yourself to reach a lot of people, help them, doing something that you love, that your entire family can, benefit from. Your life gets to reach new levels. And we really have this incredible opportunity to leave this place once we do just a little bit better than it was when we first came. So I love this. And I am super passionate about supporting women. And it happens to be that being I just turned 40, 47. And it just happens that I mainly work with women. Actually, majority of my clients are in their very late 40s and many of them in their 50s and beyond, who are building their legacy, their businesses, who decided to leave their past lives, careers, whether it was corporate or it was something else, being doctors, being like physicians, having crazy careers, teachers, and commit to something that was boiling inside of them, knowing that living in right now, they can turn it into something that will bring them fulfillment, that will be profitable, and that will allow them to live their lives on their terms. And then also, all of them, I guess I can say, realized very quickly after starting the businesses that what they initially thought a business would be, and I'm not now generalizing, but most cases it's like that. We go into business with our passion for doing what we are great at, the very reason, the very core of the business, and then we realize that business requires us to wear so many hats, things that we had no idea how to do, and we didn't even know we would have to learn them, and we didn't even know that that was necessary. um Tech is one thing, and then everything with money and every like the visibility, the social media, this and that, and it gets to be a lot. And then on top of that, we start getting bombarded with, oh, this is the best way, or that is, hello Jane, this is the best way, and this is the easiest way, and this is the newest way, and this is the only way. And even though most of my clients right now, they do have businesses, they have functioning businesses, they are serving clients, they're getting them incredible results, but they also find themselves at a point where they know they can do better. They know it because they have social media and they can see other women in their niche, in a similar niche, many times women with less experience, maybe less expertise, fewer products, simpler funnels, doing better.
Right.
And then they think like, shit, what am I missing? Like, what is it that I still need to change or grasp or learn? Or where is what's the trick? And so they start going from one strategy to another and they invest in themselves. And I mean, we should be investing in ourselves, but we also have to remember that for each of us, every one of us, we are at the core of our business. So my business, I am the core of my business. I
Yes.
am my business. And you, Colleen, you are your business. And everyone, like, even though when you get a team, once you get a team and you have an assistant, maybe a copywriter, and maybe someone who takes care of your social media, that's all great. But your business is you. And so you take yourself to every encounter that has to do with your business and life, by the way, right? And so many times we're focusing on doing more, on taking yet another program and thinking like, oh, maybe I should be on yet another platform to grow because I just saw this ad and it was so smart. It really spoke to me. And I think if I can just tweak it this way. And so maybe this copy course that I just saw being advertised, or I've heard of this amazing, lady that teaches how to do reels that convert, right? And so, of course, we're interested in all that, and we should be. It's just that many times we forget that despite all the courses, you can take all the courses, you can take all the advice, but it's still you who does these things. And if you can see that there are other women online in your niche, especially I'm super passionate about saturated niches, and I love working with my clients who are in saturated niches because they give you proof of concept. Like there is need for what you do, right? Many times those women, they start convincing themselves that it's bad time, it's the economy, it's now it's the election, and now it's holidays, and now it's no. Stop for a moment, connect with your why are you doing this in the first place, and start asking yourself better questions. Because the question, if you want to grow your business, is not what course or program am I missing or what platform. The first and most important question you can ever ask yourself is, who do I need to be to get my business to grow right now? And that's going to vastly depend on where you are at like right now, what level you're at right now, who you're serving, how many clients you have, like what you're doing, but also your vision of what that next level is, because that's going to be different for everybody. And we're women, unfortunately, we get so easily influenced in this instance, unfortunately, because we look at what other women want or what they talk about, what they get to create. And sometimes we think we want it too. Or we think we should want it. Or we think that that's the only way to go. So first and foremost is ask yourself, like, what's your next level? So I'm helping women get to the next level without working more, without jumping on not even a single more strategy. You don't need more strategies. You have all the strategies you need for the most part. We have all the programs lying on our computers. High ticket, low ticket, you name it. We've invested so much in ourselves. And yet, if I was to ask every single one of you, us, myself included, are you certain that you have taken everything you could from all of the programs that you have invested in? I know what you're going to say, and I know what I'm going to say, right? So it's not in the program, it's not in the strategy. The first and the biggest key, the only key is you. Of course, you're using the strategies to grow, but there are so many strategies that can get you to the next level. And you have access to them. There is no one that is better than the other as long as they are serving what you want to create.
Right.
It's just a matter of preference.
And I think that it's important to remember, and I've always believed, I mean, I don't want to say I'm the product because I'm not the product, but the thing is that I can sell a notebook and it can be the same notebook you can buy at Walmart, but you're going to buy it from me because there's the connection. And so being the person that can make that connection. And so you are actually your business. You are literally your business. And I'd like to say that, we're throwing in here tech and programs and visibility. What about menopause? We threw that in there too, like just for fun, and then all the other changes, like the kids moving up, the kids going to college, finding a new space with your husband where you're not running around ball games. I mean, and we're juggling all of this as women. And so one of the things I love about the community, yeah, there's a lot of, oh, look what she's doing. Oh, I could do better. There's a lot of that, but there's also so much support. Yeah. And so much support and networking. I wish that I had known that when I first started instead of trying to be solo on it. I learned when I first started that you're not supposed to associate with anybody in your niche, that's not good. Stay away from those people. And I'm like, why? Now I'm like, why? Why? Because I might not speak to somebody the same way that Sarah does. And we're not going to connect the same way that Jeannie does. It just doesn't work like that, And so to just go out there and be your best self. And yeah, we need all the programs. I agree. We need all the programs and all the things that we have, the ones that resonate with us and that speak to our soul. And we know like, hey, I need to improve in that area. So I should use that. Yes, use those to improve, but to improve your connection and your connectability, your relatability. And then things flow, and to be, but you can't draw a circle drawing people in and lose.
No. And I so much agree. I think, that really is, again, going back to the question, who do I need to be to easily take my business to the next level, to gracefully take my business to the next level, to take my business to the next level with the feeling of expansion rather than hardship. And community is a part of that. It is so much easier to grow when we are supportive of each other, when we are bouncing ideas of each other. Like when you stop looking at the world or your niche as competition and start looking at it as this huge, like this whatever, like an organism that has so much potential. And yes, I cannot, in my world, I cannot lose my perfect client. Nobody can. You can't either. You're going to resonate with someone. Yes, as you said, like you cannot take away clients from Sarah. I cannot take away clients from Jenny because it's just not possible. Once we embrace that it's okay and it's good and it's beneficial for everybody when we cooperate and when we support each other, when we mentor like those who are not as far ahead, and that it's okay to ask for advice for those who are further ahead, and that it's all just, we're growing together, we're in this together is the first thing. But then also remembering in all that, which is crucial in my opinion, that doesn't mean that you're looking for validation of you being good enough.
Right.
Okay. You bring that validation with as soon as you walk into the room, whether it's virtual or in person. This is not to look for, anybody telling you, oh, you're great at what you do. Of course, I'm freaking amazing at what I do. This is why I do this. I could do so many other things, right? I could have stayed in my ex job and I was great at that too. But I chose this, even though it was so much harder than probably anticipated. And I became even better at this thing. And I'm killing it. And I know I'm great. And now I'm here with other women because I believe that we can go so much further ahead when we are together.
I agree. And I think that when we're showing up in alignment with our authenticity, just doing ourselves, bettering ourselves, and showing up every time as our very best self, then when we're in our business and we need to pivot, as they say, and I don't know that pivot's the right word. It's such a weird word. To me, it's like I was in marching band, right? I pivoted. Like you put your foot down and then you turn. And I don't feel like when we're pivoting in business, that's what it is. I feel like it's all about growth. Pivoting is about becoming, and it's a journey that we're on. And when you show up authentically over and over and over and over, and something resonates a little bit and there's a little bit of veer in your course, you're just growing. You're not losing audience. You're not changing your everything. Your name of your brand may change, the colors may change. And I saw somebody recently that I know a few of us know. I saw Kay McKinsey, I think, post that she made a change in her brand and she changed her colors. And this is why. And she put down what those colors signified to her at this point in her journey. And that's so resonating. I felt like, that probably drew more people in than just changing. You know what I mean? And so I think that as we grow and become our best selves and our business goes with us, because we're women, that's what we do, right? Like we collect them. You ever gone out with children? You're like a little magnet, they all come, I go out with my chickens, they all just kind of come. But as we grow and become our best self and our business grows and changes, we pivot and become better and we connect better. We become more relatable. We make that connection. Yeah. And the success of our business is bound to be being able to connect authentically. And I'm so interested in hearing all these. I feel like that is the answer to how to best grow our business. But you're the expert at this, Kasia, so tell me this.
Yeah, well, the way I see this and my approach and what's been working again and again and again and again for everybody I know, every single person I know, is the easiest way to take your business to that next level is to, what I already said, to know what that next level would be for you, what it is that you want, not your business bestie, not someone you just met at an event. It's okay to get inspired. Maybe they inspired you. That's great. But just coming from that place of inner, like, I freaking own who I am. I'm great at what I do. And because I know this, it is so much rooted in me, that feeling. This is where I can see myself going next. And I would love for every one of us thinking of that next level to go a little bit bigger and to make it a little bit uncomfortable, okay? To lean into the discomfort. Because for me, next level, let's make it, like, in terms of numbers, make it very simple. If you're making $10,000 like consistently every freaking month, more or less, going next level is not 12. It's not 15. It's 25. This is how I see this, okay? And this is not to force, but this is the next level. This is not, I don't know, for some people that might be ultimate level. Some people might not they don't see themselves going higher than that. That's great. But I'm just not talking about this little, like, going from 10 to 12 or from 20 to 25. It's not next level. So I want you to know what your next level is. And realize that what got you here, it's not going to get you there. Again, it's you. It's you who gets to upgrade first. So the easiest way to expand is to know what your next level is, more or less, feel into it, start seeing it, what type of client you serve on that next level, what you do differently, what you no longer do, how your boundaries have changed, what you've released from your space. It can be anything from people to your current, offers, what you no longer are willing to entertain, but also what's changed on that next level. Who do you serve instead? What vision you have for your business on that next level? Who is your business serving? And through what? Have a rough idea of that. And then once you have it, is to align your identity with the person who has that business first. So the person, the version of me who is on that next level, how is she different from me right now? And
And
I,
that's so hard, right? That is a hard step to take. So I have a family member that has made comments. There's a substantial difference in our lifestyles, and made comments. Well, look what you have. You have that. I deserve that. And I have said to him, you want a different outcome, you need to put a different income. Do something different. Put a different input in if you want a different outcome. So if you want to live like this, you have to behave like you want this. Like, we've worked so hard for this. And he's like, well, I work 40 hours a week too. And I said, okay, but I don't need to work. And I work 80 hours a week. And there's a difference. And so if you want to be that CEO, what are they doing at 5 a.m.? And is that the same thing you're doing at 5 a.m.? Right? If you want to be the girl that's got the $1 million a year business, what are they doing to run their business at 4 in the afternoon? Is that what you're doing? Because you have to take those habits and instill them in yourself and develop yourself that way so that you're ready to receive that, right?
yeah, absolutely. One thing though I would want to mention is I do like my corner of the internet is the easy corner of the internet. So I do not believe in struggle as the absolute must-have component to growth. Most people we were taught that, and this is actually about the incremental growth that really works. People think that if I'm going, and I'm going to use the same example from 10 to 12 right now, then I'm just going to need, work, put like 20% more work, get 20% more clients, or maybe raise my prices by 20%, and then I will be able to generate, that incremental growth. And that's fine, but this is this approach is very dangerous because the hour at the end of the day will still the day at the end of the day will still have 24 hours. So how
Right.
much more can you keep on adding to your plate?
Right.
Till what extent?
And so what if you increased your self by 20%?
Yes, but that I do believe. The thing is, people tend, before I bring it up, people tend to think that going, let's just say from 10 to 25, and you make it in your head whatever works for you guys when you're watching this. This might be something different for you. But when we're talking about that level of growth, next level, this actually takes less effort once you do it the right way, meaning up leveling yourself, then should you achieve it through adding more work. Because I assure you that the person, yes, that CEO who has this next level, maybe $1 million, they do different things in the mornings, but they also have so much more time and freedom to enjoy their lives, to travel, to work from any freaking place in the world, because guess what? They can do that, to decide who works for them and why and who doesn't, and what clients they take and who they don't take and what they don't give their attention to because they're just so done with it. Okay? And you cannot create next level business from the current level self. It's not possible. But the good news is you can get to your next level self so much faster than you think if you know how, if you have a roadmap, and if you know how to help yourself release the old identity. So let go of the beliefs that have brought you to where you are right now. They have allowed you to come to this level. Beliefs about business, about visibility, about money, about hardship, about ease, about judgment, about everything that is between you right now and the next level you. Those beliefs that you want to use to grow so that your business can catch up with the identity, they have to be aligned. So if you catch yourself, when you catch yourself stopping yourself, self-sabotaging, doing things that you shouldn't be doing if you're thinking about taking your business, because we all know what that is. You know what that is. Yes, Sarah, you're laughing. We all know that shit. And yet we only engage with those behaviors because our current identity is rooted in this place. That's it. Because your next level self, who is at that whatever next level is for you, she doesn't give a shit about those things. She's done with that. She's released that. She gracefully, with love, no shame, no nothing, just the opposite, owning who you are, what you came here to do, and your path. Because again, our paths are so different, right?
Right.
So much different. And they're amazing. And we should be so grateful to ourselves for everything that has brought us here and everything we learned and everything we failed at learning the first attempt and maybe the second and fifth. But finally, we're freaking ready. And this really also boils to the moment. I can tell you this. I only now, right now, work, and this is my next level, which is so freaking amazing. Work with women who are at the stage of, I'm freaking done. So I don't know how I'm going to get to that next level. This is where I come into play, right? But I don't know how we're going to get me there, and I'm open to finding out. But I'm so done with the current level. I'm done with this place where I am right now. It's not from a place of I hate it. I don't hate it. I used to dream about being where I am right now. But I also know that there is something so much bigger for me, because I can this is so important. You have dreams, desires, and visions that millions of people couldn't care less for. And guess why? You are given your dreams for a reason. Like this vision that you have of helping, I don't know how many people doing those crazy things that you want to do, that you maybe even haven't told your best friend because you think this is crazy, like you having those dreams. But you have those dreams and she doesn't. Guess why? Then it's time to get responsible. So the women who say, you know what, I don't know how, but I'm ready for more. I'm ready to draw the line in the sand and say, you know what, let's jump. Let's do this. Let's upgrade so that my business can catch up. Because I know that as soon I can feel it, you know, this feeling when you know you are about to experience something major, like a breakthrough, and you don't know just yet. You don't know what's going to get you there, but you know that it's boiling inside of you and at some point it's going to explode. That's the moment when you say, like, I'm done with what's here and now, and I'm up leveling, and I'm choosing to do it really, really fast. And that's it.
And so, do you offer this information when you're working with your clients through a course or through coaching, or how do you do that?
So there are, different ways in which you can change or help yourself with your beliefs. The issue with your beliefs is that 90% of the beliefs running the show and deciding what you do and what you don't do, A, happen subconsciously. B, they happen because they happen subconsciously. They happen without your conscious awareness. So the thing is that we are deciding on autopilot what we're willing or not willing to do in order to grow. That boils down to pricing and how you show up, how often you show up, what you choose to talk about on social media, how you choose to talk about this. Do you take ownership? Like, who do you choose to be your next level client? Are you willing to, do you have what it takes to really call them in and to start talking to them in a way that, regardless of your niche, they're going to get a glimpse of you and they're going to think like, oh, wow, she's into something. I'm feeling that, right? She is so certain. She's so confident. She's owning how she helps. She gets me. She connects with me. I really feel that this is who I need right now. But that next level client is different from your current client and definitely different from your past clients. So the issue is here that many times before I start working with with my clients, they have no idea about how many unhelpful beliefs they have been living by that cause them not to send that email because it was, oh, almost too much out there? What if someone gets triggered? What if someone gets this? What if someone misunderstands me? Like, no, girl. Like, what do you want?
That is so interesting that you mentioned that, Kasia, because I recently, well, when I sent an email a couple days ago, I was thinking back to a few months back when I went to send an email and I selected all my contacts and then I thought, oh, wait, who might this offend? And I spent an extra hour going through and taking off check marks of everybody I thought might offend. And now, and my email has grown, my email list has grown substantially since that time. But now I went to send an email and I thought, I wonder if this is going to offend anybody or if anybody maybe doesn't want this in their box on this day. And I thought, you know what? I guess if they don't, they'll leave, right? So there's an unsubscribe button for a reason.
Absolutely.
There you go. And if you're not interested, I try to be very informative in the subject line. If you're not interested in what I have to share, then there's the door, right? Because you don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of stuffed animals.
No, 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 no.
Be around people who have the same vibrancy and the same love and the commitment and the energy, not people that are like, oh, maybe they could take your leave. I'm just not interested in take or leave. Like you're either in and I'm a blessing in your life or you're out.
Yeah. Yes, but also, can you see how this also ties to the fact that you started talking about the community and how important it is? Well, inside of the community, there are women who are, not as far ahead, who would love to serve that client. Yes. And also the women with whom that client will most absolutely resonate. Yes. Let them, like there is.
And this is why I try to connect so much. I every day I have networking and connecting and I love it because there are people for everybody and it's hard. I think the internet's so vast, so many people, but it's hard to find all your people. And so on occasion I'll message somebody and say, hey, this person I know over here has a tool that would be really great for you. Just send you their
super
name.
Connector.
Yeah, it's not even. I had one lady say, yeah, I don't have any money to spend. I said, no, I'm just telling you that this is there's a better way of running what you're running. I saw this lady doing it and I have a free invitation to her event if you want to go just watch and take notes so that you can maybe implement it down the road in your business. Oh, okay, that's weird. But that's why we're supposed to, that's actually a gift. I feel like, I'm just going to go there. I feel like God gave us that innate ability as women to connect, to lift, and to serve.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to utilize it unashamedly.
Yeah. I think it's our specific gift as women as well, because we have more, we're just different than men, but in that we have more empathy than men for the most part, right? We have more, like we are those that create the, at least, initially we are those guardians of the flame, right? We are those that they bring the food. Well, they don't anymore, but they used to bring the food and hunt and stuff, and we would wait and make sure that everybody who was gathered around the fire was safe, right? And that everybody got what they needed in order to, as much as possible, thrive in the community as the guys went away, right? So that's the gift that we have. We have, that has been strengthened within the us females for so many years. But right now, also, when we decide that, okay, I'm ready to leave my solely female role and I want to go into the world and serve people and I want to do something exceptional. I want to maybe be the first woman in my lineage to create exceptional business success. I mean, I had no, like I come from, well, long story, but I was born in a communist country in late 70s, and nobody in my family had ever anything to do with any shape or form business. And when I first decided that I'm gonna, start my previous business that I created after being veterinarian for over a decade, my parents, even though I was in my 30s, my parents were just like business? Like, who's gonna pay for your insurance? And I said, well, I'm gonna pay for my insurance. Like, that was so foreign to them, right?
Right.
And also the amount, like the monetary change, like, how can you ask of that much money? And isn't that a scam? Are you doing this on the computer? Like, God forbid. Like, would anybody send you money without meeting you in person? and that much. So that was something so new and foreign to them. And
Right.
I'm sure that, well, you don't have to be born in Poland in 78, but you still have brought into your business, starting a business, a lot of, all of your background and all of your past experiences and the beliefs that are associated with that. And so step by step, bit by bit, layer by layer, we have to change the beliefs that are not serving this next level that we are aiming for. And when you realize that it's okay to wave goodbye to your old self because something more is calling, something more is just bubbling inside of you, and you know that there are greater things for you in store, then there's really one question you want to ask yourself is, who do I need to be? And so in my work, I use subconscious reprogramming because it's the fastest, the easiest way to grow. I mean, think if this can help a smoker, like someone who's been smoking for 30 years, stop smoking within a couple of days, then how much we can change if we can, on the subconscious level, take your vision, decide what beliefs you need in order to make that vision real, who's the person who has that next level business, and install those next level person's beliefs in your head so deep and in your body so deep that without realizing you start taking different actions, writing different emails. You turn on go live button and all of a sudden the old reservations have dissipated, right? All of a sudden, you just show up differently. You speak differently. You hold yourself differently. You say no easily to the things you don't want to do anymore. You just do that automatically because when they are rooted in subconscious, this is so much easier. And I remember before I started working with entrepreneurial women 100%, I love using this example because it really shows you what's possible on a different plane. So I had a client, a lovely, lovely client who she was before my previous niche was helping midlife and second half life women, create more fulfilling lives. So I had this amazing client, and she retired. She recently retired. She was at home with her husband, and that caused some new challenges because she wasn't used to being at home with him that much. And they would argue a lot. They started arguing a lot, so much so that every morning she would go to the kitchen, start making coffee. He would come, and already from the third sentence, they would start snapping at one another. And she said to me, like, I don't like that. I don't like doing that, but it comes from me automatically. We're just snapping. It's been going on for a while, and I don't know how to stop it. And I'm afraid that either we're going to kill each other or we're going to divorce. And I don't want to be alone. And so, right. And so what we did is, instead of changing her husband, that is like, what, you can't do that. Good luck with that. Right? No, I'm married for the third time. I should know. You cannot change your husband. And so I said, how about we change how you react and your interpretations of his snaps and your response to that by installing within you the beliefs that the version of you who has a peaceful, joyful, harmonious relationship with your husband as you are at home, both of you, has. And we did that. What happened next week was incredible. She messages me and says, you need to hear this. This morning, I went to the kitchen and she listened to the audio I created for her a couple times. He was actually away when she started listening, so she thought like, great. So she listened to it. I don't know how many times, 3, 5 times. I don't know. But he comes home in the morning. She gets to the kitchen, and he starts his blah, blah, blah at her, and she opens her mouth to snap back at him, and to her surprise, she says something completely different. She says something that he didn't expect. She says she's speaking with a calm voice. She's not reactive to, like, she is speaking to a husband she would love to have in a way she would speak to a husband who is absolutely amazing. Within a week's time, they started getting along. And that was 4 years ago. She messaged me on my birthday a few days back to say that they've never been happier. So this is what happens when we install the beliefs on the subconscious level. You don't have to convince yourself, oh, he's not doing it because he hates me. I better take a deep breath. I must go to a different room. No. And the same goes for business. You don't have to convince yourself that it's better for your next level business that you are more visible. You're craving more visibility because the next level version of you, she does that, and you step into her. So since you've stepped into her, like, come on, bring it on.
So tell me, Kasia, how do we use that to attract high paying and aligned clients? I mean, we all have different niches. By the way, Kasia, before you disappear, and Jeannie, before you disappear, Sarah has Life Mastery Magazine, and she accepts subscription, or not subscriptions, but you can write articles for it to advertise your business or your point of view or whatever. But she also has, she sells advertising in it also. But I just want to let you know that because I know both of you are trying to further your business too. So, and it's amazing magazine. So I'm sure she'll drop us a copy of a link to the June one in the chat so that everybody can read it, because I was just floored. It's amazing. Anyways, but how do we use that to attract high paying and aligned clients? And we're all in different niches. So talk to us about that.
That's great. When you start feeling and seeing yourself as that next level person, and you know who that next level client is, and it's going to sound so like, come on, is this all advice you have? But really, it is so powerful. You start speaking only to that next level client, and only to a person who already is looking for a solution. In 2025 and going forward, we don't need any more convincing and warming up and getting ready to get ready. Like, we are flooded by like, there is the attention span has never been shorter. I don't know if it get any shorter, and still yet it does get shorter all the time. We are bombarded with information, and not every, but vast majority, like almost every service provider or coach, or majority of us are using the strategies that worked a few years back, and that is providing value. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's not going to help you sell your services in 2025. That's the thing. So providing value and making their people realize why it's important to start taking care of their gut health. Convincing people that they need a coach for their relationship so that they can just, they don't have to get this expensive divorce. Showing people 3 steps to this and 5 steps to that. Like, come on. It's going to be harder and harder and next to impossible to sell your next level offer through that type of approach. So the easiest way that works for that next level client that you have envisioned, whatever is your niche, if in your niche, your high level product, let's just call it, is $20, and in someone else's that product is $20,000, that's absolutely irrelevant. Okay. I'm only talking about the fact that you want to speak to the person who's already looking for what you've got, and they are done with the issue that your offer, your product, your program solves. They're so fucking done with it that they will, like, when they find you, it's like this breeze of fresh air, like finally someone not handling objections in their content, because let me just get this thing and be done with this. What's also going to happen for the people who are not ready, who maybe have objections, who like, they're gonna, so many times they get ready in no time, because you go from handling when guys, like, this is so when I first learned about this a couple years back, that when I heard about this made so much sense to me. When we are handling objections in our content, guess who we are attracting?
People with objections.
Heck yes. Just implement this, but also, like, for as much as you can without doing the subconscious work, like when you put out the content, when you send an email, when you create copy for your website, ask yourself, like, is this my next level self describing this offer, talking about this, or is it the old me? Like, because if it's the old you want to go through that again. Okay, maybe let a friend read it, like ask them what they think. Does it sound like something next level or not? But then when you have the language right, you just remind yourself that you're speaking to a person who already is ready for that product, for that service, for that leap, for that change. And the person who's not ready, who thought they were not ready, two things can happen. If they're not ready for you, you're going to find another person who's going to be perfect for them. Three actually things will happen. Many people will get ready in no time and realize, like, shit, that really, when she says it this way, that really clicks with me. And they're going to say, like, oh, me too, send the link. And then third group, rather, these are the people, like, there's nothing you could say to them for them to invest in working with you. So you can just, as much, like, who cares? They will always talk about, like, the family member, like, oh, I want this. Oh, I need that. Oh, it's so easy for you. Oh, your life is so much better. I should have that too. Why don't I have it? And okay, so what? Take responsibility. The people that are not willing to take responsibility, they're not your responsibility to convince.
Well, and you spend so much time convincing that you're not doing what you were born to do.
One of my first mentors used to say, you're not in a convincing business. Yes. And I really took it to heart.
So tell me again. So the first one is the people that are ready right away. The second one was what?
Well, the people who are looking for a solution, and they're just done with this pain, with the feeling, with the vibe, with the reality that they have right now, that your product or service helps them, overcome or change or shift. Right? But instead of poking, like, you want to find a sweet spot, but we're going from pain marketing. You want to touch base with where they are right now, but you also want to speak to their desire, because they're already looking for it. When you speak to the desire of a person who's already dreaming of their next level, health, relationship, sex life, I don't know, writing abilities, like whatever you help your people with, this person is already fantasizing about where they could be. And you come and start connecting with their desire that is so visceral in their language, not trying to sell them what you know. Like, stop selling. Also, we should have, like, a lot more time for that, but that also happens so much naturally when you have up leveled, because you realize that you're not selling coaching, you're not selling products, you're not selling any of that. Thank you, Jenny. You're not selling any of that. Nobody wakes up, like, I usually serve, coaches and service providers. I don't know any single human being who wakes up and says, oh, I wish I could spend $5,000 on someone helping me reconnect with my chakras. Who wants that? But what will this reconnecting with, like, clearing their chakras, reconnecting with the inner guide, or like, how is this gonna help advance their lives? Like real time, like real situation, real desire. And if you don't know, then you want to ask yourself, like, so what? I'm helping my people, you know, like any example, I help my people create better relationships. So what? Well, so that this and this happens. So what? And you take those 7 levels of so freaking what, and you get to the very point of what they want, and you start speaking to that, but from that next level version of you. This is so powerful when you pair these two. It's like people asking you, like, I'm so glad I found you. Like, do you have any free spots? Instead of, I'm so glad I found you. I'm keeping your posts in my folder for later.
Right. And it's not any different than knowing what we want, and women are really good at this, and we just do it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need convinced. If I see something I want, I make it happen.
Right?
If I have to get an extra job, if I have to go without, if I have to, whatever that is, if I look at something in a store, a boutique, or wherever I am, and I set it back to think about it, I didn't want it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same thing. And also, we also know this, that when we are walking around with a desire, whatever that desire is about, and we come across someone who speaks to that desire in the exact way that we're thinking about it. So what? So what? So what? Like, what is it going to get you? We just like take my money. Like, where's the link? Like, how do I get this? It cannot get here fast enough.
Yeah.
This is so much different than handling objections and giving them the like with ChatGPT, like seriously, 5 ways to lose
Well,
that.
and I think too that the flip side, the downside to handling objections is that when you're choosing to step onto the battlefield, you're pulling yourself into the battle.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know any woman that wants their business to be a battlefield.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit like with the lawyers. The lawyers have this rule that they're not asking the questions they don't want to know answers to,
Right.
right? So why would you? And like when you have so much self-belief, you're not outsourcing it. You know you're great at what you do, and you fully own how you help your people, how great you are. You talk about this, you're passionate about this, your body language speaks for it. Every email that you craft is like such a clear indication that you live for what you do and that you love doing that. And then you pair it with a language that so clearly speaks to the people who are ready without convincing, because who convinces? The person who believes that people need to get convinced to work with them or to buy from them. Why would I convince anybody to buy from me? I mean, everybody should know who needs what I have and who likes my energy. That's obviously hello,
Right.
because some people are not going to vibe with me. There's nothing I can stand on my head. They will never buy from me, and that's fine. And I love them, and there's going to be someone else for them. But my people, when they come across me, they need to know that, hey, like if only I have spots, they can get to their next level, like this way that I just described, in a matter of weeks, right? To start operating and calling those next level clients from that place. But if it doesn't speak to them because they're not ready, or because they believe that they will rather, incrementally work harder, add a little bit more and keep on testing, that's also fine. Because either they will realize at some point that it can only get them that far, or they will find someone else that can help them, or they will just stop at where they're at. And either way, it's good.
So
Because
let
there's
me ask you
always
this.
someone looking. Yeah.
We're talking about up leveling who we are to reach the client that's at that level. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean that we need to change our location. right?
Change
So
change what?
change our location. And so by that I mean, like, if people are listening to this and they're thinking, okay, but how do I find that client? How do I find those clients? I don't think that that you're necessarily in the wrong spot. I think that making these changes within yourself finds that client.
Well, the thing is, there's no location. Like you change the positioning. You change the positioning of like you change. That happens
It
naturally
attracts the different
because
client that
because
you
when
want.
you step up, you start positioning yourself and your offers in a different like if you compare it to a store, you take all your things and you take it to this next level, to this next level boutique, like this, like, and this is gonna in itself connect to this different type of client.
Right.
Like there is like this is this is so funny when it happens, and when you all of a sudden start getting all like different types of messages in your DMs or emails responding to your own emails. Like people are responding in a different way. And you don't need to have large following. You don't need to have like millions of people, just the opposite. And time again, I'm amazed by what financial results can women generate, but also in terms of impact, because money, let's face it, money is amazing, but money is a byproduct of the impact we create, right? I mean, I love money, and you got to love money to make more of that. Else, what's the point? But
Right.
money is just just the representation of what you get to create and how you help people. And so, but I'm always like, even though I know it's possible, I'm always so delighted to see how incredible results can women create from small followings. I never thought that was possible. But when they stop treating people like they need 100 million touch points with them, and they need to buy this very, like, they have to buy this free, they get the free thing, and then they have to buy for $7, and then for 15, and then for 25, and then maybe at some point they will be ready. I'm not saying they don't want your lower tier products, of course, and offers. I'm sure they're super valuable, but also in all of your offers, you should be already talking to this next level client.
Right.
All the roads are leading to this next level. And guess what? When it happens, you're going to do exact same thing. If there's new level that is calling you, you're going to just do the same process again and again. Because what's going to get you to the next level is not going to get you to the next level again. And you're going to need to up level. That's fine. And that's just it. No, you don't change your location. You don't go from Instagram to Facebook or to LinkedIn or to like, fuck it. No, those people are there. They're in your,
Yes.
you just haven't been talking
Yeah.
to them. You haven't been talking to them. Or you've been talking to them in a way that is not, it's not making them like, you've been warming them up forever. And you've been also warming them up from a place of proving energy, like see how much I could help you. No, claim that you are that person, and your energy is gonna speak for that.
So, that's funny. So when I homeschooled my kids, I homeschooled 4 kids. And one thing I learned early on, and there's an age gap. So my son was 6 when my second daughter was born, or my second child was born. So I had 6 years difference, and I'm trying to homeschool him, which makes him 11 when she's 5.
Yeah.
And so how do you do a geography lesson? How do you do a math lesson? Well, and this is the simple solution, and it works so well in business too. And that is this: you teach to the higher level.
Yes.
And everybody else falls in line. Yes, they're interested, and yes, they're going to do the smaller things along the way. My daughter may be coloring a picture by number while we're doing a math lesson about algebra, but she's working her way there, and she's attracted to that. And that's the same thing I feel in our business.
Yes, absolutely. And for anybody that has kids, and even if they didn't homeschool, we always, like, I have 3 kids, and so the third, like the youngest, always like the youngest kid is always the fastest, like for the most part. at doing most of the things, right? Because they look up to those who already are walking, are talking, are playing, are I don't know, skating, doing all those crazy things. And this is also what I want maybe to close this conversation with. When a kid sees other kids, the small kid, doing things that they haven't learned just yet, they innately decide that shit, that is some crazy stuff. I want this. I'm going to go and figure out how to do it. Obviously, it's possible. And so I'm going to figure out the how. This is the mindset you want to get in business every single time. You can see those other women doing this, creating those months, creating the impact, claiming their space, speaking from stages, going on live TV, whatever it is, writing those freaking books, starting podcasts that change like hundreds of thousands of lives. So if it's possible, become that child and start asking yourself better questions, right? The kid doesn't ask themselves, oh, am I worthy of skateboarding? Where do I get a proof that I can actually, that I'm good enough to get on a skateboard? Fuck it. Of course, I want the skateboard. Let me learn. How do I do it fastest? Who can help me? Let's do this. Let's skate.
I really appreciate that. This has been an amazing coffee chat. I'm so grateful for both of you being here and Jeannie being present, and I'm sure we will get lots of replays on it. So,
thank you for
Kasia,
having
tell
me.
us where they can find you one more time.
Oh yeah, we talked about it before we jumped on. I'm in the process of changing some stuff, but the easiest access, you can just befriend me on Facebook to begin with, because the new website is dropping soon, and I think it's going to be the easiest. And I would love for you, if you have watched this on the replay, because I haven't been able to connect with you, just send me an DM and say that you came through like from this group, and that you have seen me our conversation with Colleen, because I would love to know that. There are so many people and so many faces, and I'd love to know that. That's the easiest way. And also, I believe I have sent you the link to something that anybody can, at the top there, and you're gonna put it, it's this one. Maybe this is something that can help some of you. So let me just read. Yes. Yes, and Sarah, definitely. Let me just click that link so I have it once we say goodbye. And I definitely would love to. Yeah. If you're not gonna, Sarah, if you're not gonna send me invitation to your friend, like to invite me to become your friend, then I'm gonna invite you to become my friend, just so that you know.
Sarah will. She's golden.
I will.
Great guys with her voice.
Amazing.
All right, ladies. I appreciate this. This has been wonderful. I will end this recording.
Thank you.